Today's lesson is 10th class first lesson, reflection of light at curved surfaces. So look at the book. In class 7 and 8, you learned about the image formation in plane mirrors. You also discussed about the spherical mirrors. You know that why curved surfaces are known as a spherical mirrors. So in class 7 we introduced the light and we learned about the light and we learned about the plane mirrors, how the image is forming on the plane mirrors. Did you observe your image in the plane mirror? In a regular life or a regular day life activities, you are observing your image in the plane mirrors. What is the size of the image in the plane mirrors? You are seeing your image. For suppose you are seeing your image in the plane mirrors. How much size you have? That much size only appears in the plane mirrors. This is we have already learned in the previous classes. Look at the book. You might have got many doubts while observing your image in the bulbous surfaces. So, did you get any doubts while you are observing your image in the plane mirror? So, we have got number of doubts. We are getting number of doubts while we are observing in the plane mirrors. Why the images are forming in the plane mirror? Then, how it is possible to see our hand if you are eating with the right hand and it looks like left hand. What is the reason for that? This type of number of doubts we are getting in the while observing our image in the plane mirrors. Look at the book. Is the image formed by bulbous surface same as the image formed by a plane mirror? Bulbous surface means thin. It will be like a ball. So if you are observing the image on the steel ball, it will be looks like bulbed, but that means it is a slight difference than the original object. But while you are observing in your image in the plane mirror, will it be in the thin size or large size? Means it is the actual size of the image, only the actual size of the object will be appears in the same size in the plane mirror. Okay, and then we can get in the clarity in this lesson. Is the mirror need used automobiles a plane mirror? Why it is showing small images? So have you traveled on the vehicles? If you are traveling in the vehicles, you can observe the mirrors. Side mirrors are attaching to the vehicles. So in the mirrors, the images appear smaller, and you can observe that one thing in the side mirrors. Some letters are written on the side mirrors. Those letters are the objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. Actually, if you are looking by turning your head back, the images are in the larger distance, but you are seeing the images in the mirror, side mirrors, those will be appears looks like very closer to us. So, what is the reason for that? We have to learn. Next question: why does our image appear thin or bulged out in some mirrors? So, in the plane mirrors. In the plane mirrors, if you are seeing your image means it will be the same size, how much size you have. So, but in some mirrors, in the bulbed mirrors or any other such other type of mirrors, sometimes your image will be bulged and sometimes your image will be thin size. That means it is a smaller size than your size. Sometimes it will be appears larger size, bigger size than your original size. What is the reason for that? We have to learn. We can learn from this lesson. Can we see inverted image in any mirror? So inverted image. Inverted means up and downs. The sides are interchanging. Up will be looks like down, down will be looks like up. This type of images can we see in any mirrors? Next question. Can we focus sunlight at a point using a mirror instead of magnifying glass? Magnifying glass. It was a playing object while we are in the childhood. By using the magnifying glass, we have burnt a paper or stick in the holiday season. So here, by using any other glasses except magnifying glass, by using any such type of plane mirrors or any other type of mirrors, can you do that? That means, can you focus the sunlight at a certain point? So we have to learn all these questions answers from this lesson. So if you know the answer, write there yes, or if you don't know the answer, write no. So after the completing the lesson, we can get all these answers for these questions. Look at the next. Are the angle of reflection and angle of incident also equal for reflection by curved surfaces? So this question is according to plane surfaces we have already learned in the previous classes. Then what about the curved surfaces? Like in the previous classes we learned the angle of incident equals to angle of reflection for the plane mirrors only. We did not learn about this curved surfaces. But here we have to learn about the curved surfaces also. Let us discuss about the reflection of light by spherical mirrors in this lesson to get clarified for the above questions. So approximately here 6 questions are there and we can get all the clarity for these questions after completing the lesson. So first topic is reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Reflection. What is the first topic? Reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Look at the book. The first law of reflection tells us a light ray incident at an angle with the normal at the point of incidence will get reflected making equal angle with the normal. This law is true for all surfaces. Underline that one. This law is true for all surfaces, be it a plane surface or a curved one. The important words are here. The angle made with the normal at the point of incidence. If for any surface one can decide the normal and find the incident angle, it is possible to deduce the angle made by the reflected ray. It is very easy to find the normal at any point on the plane surface, but for a curved one, uneven surface, it is not straightforward. Okay, so laws of reflection. How many laws of reflection we have? 2 laws of reflection we have. 2 laws of reflection we have. What is the first one? First one is angle of incident equals to angle of reflection. What is the first law of reflection? Angle of incident equals to angle of reflection. If you take any plane surfaces, just think this is a plane surfaces. This is the normal line. With the line which is drawn perpendicular to the plane surface, that is called normal line. Normal means how much angle will be here? 90 degrees, and here also 90 degrees. So normal line. Angle of incident equals to angle of reflection. If you take any incident ray, if you take any incident ray which is incident at the normal line on the plane surface, this and with the same angle the reflected ray will comes back to the same medium by making the equal angle with the normal. So the angle between the incident ray and normal line is called angle of incidence, and the angle made between the normal line and angle of reflected ray is called angle of reflection. This is the first law of reflection, that is angle of incident angle I equals to angle of reflection angle R. This is the first law of reflection. And the second law of reflection is incident ray, normal line and reflected ray. Both the 3 lines are lies in the same plane. This is the law. These are the 2 laws of reflection. But here we can observe one thing. This is a plane surface. We can draw the normal line very easy. With ease, we can write the normal line to a plane surface. But the question is here: is it possible to find out the normal line for a curved surface with ease? So just draw a curved line here. This is a curved line. Then we have to draw a normal line. So if you are drawing a line towards the curved surface, then it is normal or not for the curved surfaces. It is not easy to find out straightforward. Then this is the 2. We have to get the clarity for the curved surface. How can we find the normal line? And the next topic is activity 1, finding the normal to a curved surface. How can we find the normal line? Finding the normal to a curved surface. Finding the normal to a curved surface. So look at the book. Take a small piece of thin foam or a rubber like the sole of a slipper. Put some pins along the straight line on the foams as shown in the figure. All the pins are perpendicular to the plane of foam. The foam is considered as a mirror. Each pin would be represent the normal at the point. Any ray incident at the point where the pin makes contact with the surface will reflect with the same angle as the incident ray made with the pin normal. Now bend the foam piece inwards as shown in figure. What happens to the pins? They still represent the normal at various points, but you will notice that all the pins tend to converge at a point. Unlike that paragraph. And next one, if we bend the foam piece outwards, we will see the pins seem to move away from each other, or in other words, they diverge as shown in figure. This gives an idea of what is likely to happen with a spherical mirror. A concave mirror will be like the rubber sole bent inwards, and the convex mirror will be like the rubber sole bent outwards. For a concave mirror like these pins in figure 1, all normals will converge towards a point. This point is called center of curvature of C of the mirror. First, take a small piece of thin foam. Actually, we don't have such type of film. Just we have a paper here, and make the pins. Stitch the pins to the foam. We are keeping the pencils here. You can observe here all the pencils are perpendicular to the foam. Yes or no? So yes, all the pins are perpendicular to this foam, and in the first case we have to bend the foam inwards. What we are doing here means I am bending the foam inwards. What is happening, you can see here. You can see here, if you are bending the foam inwards, all are converging at one point. But the original position here, even though those are converging here, the original position is perpendicular to the foam. So this is in the first case, this is a plane surface. After bending inwards, it is converting into a curved surface. Okay, and in the second case, now bending the foam in outward direction. Now you can observe here what is happening here. Though the pencils are moving away from the surface, now they are not converging, they are going in their original way. So what is happening here means, in the first case we bend in the inward direction. This will like a concave mirror. That means all the light rays are converging at one point, and in the second case we are bending the foam outward direction. That means they are moving in their own way. That means they are diverging from their original places. So this one belongs to the convex mirror. So what is the conclusion here we can get means, so just think, in the first case this is a foam, and the first case we stick some pencils to this, and all these are normals, belongs to the normals to the plane surface. In the second case we bend inwards, and what is happening here means all the pins are converging at one point. And this belongs to the concave mirror. And in the second case we are bending outwards. And the pencils are diverging in a separate direction. Then what is the conclusion we can get here means, the light rays incident on the curved surface, which belongs to the concave mirror, they will be converged at one point, and in the second case they are diverging their own ways. In the first case, at what place the light rays are converging at a certain point. This point is called center of curvature. This point is called center of curvature, and it is indicating by capital C. It is indicating by capital C. For a concave mirror like this pins, okay. So today's next one. Look at the next topic. This gives us a clue about how we can find the normal to any point on a spherical mirrors. All that we have to do is draw a line from the point on the mirror to center of the sphere. It is much easier to imagine this in a two-dimensional figure as shown figure. The concave mirror is actually a part of big sphere, unlike that one. In order to find the center of curvature, we have to think of the center of the sphere to which the concave mirror belongs. The line drawn from C to any point on the mirror gives the normal to that point. Once have a look here. So this is a plane surfaces, and all the lines are drawn to this. All are normal to a plane surface. But if you bend that also, and the pins are all the pins are converging at one point, but even though are converging at one point, these all are the normal to the curved surfaces. So this is center of curvature. If you find from the center, this is a concave mirror. This is a concave mirror, and this is the pole of the mirror. This is called principal axis. This is the pole of the mirror, and think this is center of curvature. Center of curvature means the light rays which are converging at the one point. This is center of curvature. If you draw any light ray, if you draw any line from the center of curvature to a mirror, these are always perpendicular to the curved surface. So in this way we can find out the normal line to a curved surface. For the ray or the incident ray angle, the incident angle is the angle which makes the normal as shown in I. The reflected angle is shown as R in figure. We know by first law of reflection. Okay, so we can draw a line. So this is a incident ray which is parallel to the principal axis. It is incident on the curved surface at a certain point, and this is the normal line, and this is called the angle between the normal line and the incident ray is called angle of incident. And after incident, it is going with the same angle, it is reflecting with the same angle, and this is called angle of reflection, angle R. Next one, the midpoint, geometrical center of the mirror is called pole of the mirror. The horizontal line is shown in the figures which passes through the center of curvature, and pole is called principal axis of the mirror. The distance between P and C is called radius of curvature R of the mirror. And find here some terms. So the line which is passing through the center of the mirror, is called principal axis. This one is called principal axis. And the distance between pole of the mirror and center of curvature is called a radius of curvature. The distance is PC is called radius of curvature, and the angle between the normal and incident ray is called angle of reflection, and the angle between the reflected ray and normal is called angle of reflection. Okay.